What would it feel like to spend your entire life searching for someone you have never met? To grow up asking one question again and again: who is my father? And after more than 60 years, still have no answer. This is the story of Julie, a man born between two worlds, but belonging fully to neither. A man whose father left Rwanda before he was even born, leaving behind only a name and a promise that was never fulfilled. Today, people see an old man trying to survive. Some laugh at him, some call him names. Others assume they know his story, but behind his smile is a lifetime of questions, pain, and hope that somehow, one day, he might finally discover where he truly comes from. Julie was born in 1962, but even before he entered this world, life had already changed for him. When his mother was only 3 months pregnant, his biological father left. He disappeared before Julie was born, never to return. His father was said to be from India. His mother was Rwandan. According to the stories his mother told him, his father worked in a coffee processing factory, and that factory belonged to Julie's grandfather. But before leaving Rwanda, his father made one final request. He told Julie's mother, if the child is born, give him my name. And so, when the baby arrived, he was named Julie, a name given by a father he would never know. My name used to be Julie, but now I am called Yuli Emmanuel. I was born in 1962, and I am married with a family. My first wife and I had 2 children together, but sadly she passed away later. I remarried, and with my second wife we have 5 children, and we are still living together today. As for my birth and background, I do not know my biological father. My mother told me that my father left Rwanda when she was 3 months pregnant with me. Before leaving, there was a worker who worked with my father, and my father told him to tell my mother that when I was born, she should give me his name. At that time, my biological father worked in a coffee processing factory owned by his own father, my grandfather. So when I was born, my father had already left. I never got the chance to see him, and there was no one from his family left behind for me to know or connect with. I was born and grew up with only my mother. My mother herself was an orphan with no family support. Later, when I had already grown up, she remarried, and that is how we continued living. As Julie grew older, the questions began. Questions every child eventually asks. Where is my father? Why did he leave? Who are my relatives? But answers never came. Only stories. Fragments of memories told by his mother. Pieces of a life he could never fully touch. He grew up watching other children with fathers, watching families that looked complete. And somewhere deep inside, he wondered what his own life could have been. Years turned into decades. Still, no father, no letter, no message, no family, nothing. Only silence. Despite the pain, Julie continued living. He got married, built a family, and became a father himself. With his first wife, he had 2 children. Today, his oldest child is around 40 years old. But life brought more heartbreak. His first wife passed away, leaving Julie once again carrying grief. Later, he found love again. He remarried, and together they built a new family with 5 children. Through all of life's struggles, he continued moving forward, trying to give his children what he himself never had.
I was born in 1974 and I am now 52 years old. I got married to Julie in 1996, and today we have 5 children together. Our eldest child was born in 1996, while our youngest was born in 2007. We have 3 daughters and 2 sons. We have lived together in a normal family life, and our main source of livelihood is farming and livestock keeping. We do not do any other type of work apart from agriculture and animal husbandry.
My mother used to tell me that my father was an Indian man. She would tell me that my grandfather owned a coffee processing factory at Wondex, and that they also had a shop near Popular Bank. At one point, I asked my mother whether my father's family had sold those properties before leaving Rwanda, but she did not know much about it because they were never living together. It seems they may have simply met while my mother was working in the coffee business. They developed a relationship, and eventually she became pregnant with me. My grandfather, as someone who owned factories, was a well-known and respected man. Growing up, however, was not easy. Because my skin did not look like that of other people around me, people would often look at me differently. They would say, "Look, there goes the poor white man." At one point, I even suffered from jiggers, and people mocked me, saying, "Look, the white man has jiggers." Being different from others hurt me deeply sometimes. People would ask me questions like, "Have you found your white relatives?" or "Have you ever met your white family?" Those words used to pain me because I had no answers. But as I grew older, I learned to accept myself. Today, those things no longer hurt me the way they once did. Today, Julie works hard to survive. He farms, raises animals, and joins local community groups to support his family. When I wake up in the morning, I wash my face, pick up my hoe, and go to the farm. During the dry season, I immediately go to water my crops. When it is not dry and the rainy season is ongoing, I look for other work to do at home. I mainly work on 2 plots of land. When I am not working in the rice fields, I spend my time growing maize.
We harvest whatever crops grow and are ready for harvest. In short, farming is what we do for a living, and we work through cooperatives. We grow rice through a cooperative, and maize as well is cultivated through a cooperative system. The crops we mainly bring home for family consumption are things like beans and vegetables, which we grow for ourselves.
But one struggle never disappears: identity. His children ask difficult question. "Father, where do we come from? Who is our grandfather? Do we have family somewhere else?" And every time, Julie struggles to answer, because he does not know. My firstborn child once asked me a question that kept me awake at night. There was a time when he asked me about my origins. He wanted me to tell him where I came from, so that at least he could one day search and learn about his grandfather. But I had no answer to give him. At that time, my mother was still alive, so I told him, "Go and ask your grandmother. She is the one who knows, because by the time I was born, they had already left." Though I sinned. That question stayed with me, because as a father, it hurts when your own child asks about their roots, and you do not know what to tell them. I never became angry with my father. Instead, I felt anger toward my mother at times because I kept asking myself, if my grandfather was wealthy, how could they leave without leaving her anything behind? Not even identification documents or any information that could help me know where I came from. It all felt like being left in darkness. But later, I came to understand that perhaps it was because my mother had not gone to school and may not have known what to do in that situation. There was even a time when I found myself thinking, if she had never given birth to me, maybe I would not be living this kind of poor life. Those thoughts came from pain and frustration. from growing up without answers, without roots, and without knowing where I truly belonged. The pain grows even deeper because of how some people treat him. In his community, some mock him, calling him the poor white man. People see his appearance, but they do not see his struggle. Some assume he is wealthy simply because of how he looks, and because of that misunderstanding, sometimes he misses opportunities or community support. People believe he is white. He must already have money. But reality tells a different story.
Because of the way his skin looks, there were times when people would look at us and assume that we were wealthy. Sometimes villagers would say, "We are rich, we don't need any support from anywhere." Simply because of his appearance, people believed we were rich, even when we were struggling. But the reality was very different. We were living an ordinary life, facing hardships like everyone else. Sometimes it hurt, because people judged us based on appearance without understanding our true situation.
At 64 years old, Julie still carries one dream, one hope, one unanswered prayer: to meet his father, or at least to meet someone from his father's family. A brother, a sister, anyone, because even now, he does not know if his father is alive. He does not know whether he has siblings, or whether somewhere in the world, someone is also wondering about him. Imagine carrying that question your whole life, wondering if somewhere, someone shares your blood, but never knowing their name. Julie's story is not only about abandonment, it is about identity, belonging, and the quiet pain of growing old without answers. But even after all these years, he still hopes, because sometimes hope is the only thing stronger than time. And maybe somewhere in the world, someone is waiting to hear his story too. This is Julie, a man who spent 64 years searching for a father he never met.